Now tell us what the harvest celebration is all about. I know that you said before that when you were a little girl, harvest time was a very special and important event in this part of the country.
Well, it was and it still is, and every year at Dollywood we have the Harvest Festival, and we do have all these craftsmen that come from all over the country, and they do some of the most beautiful work you've ever seen. We, of course, have great and special foods, and we have the most beautiful decorations, as you mentioned, especially this year. They've really outdone themselves, so we're very, very proud, and of course the Gospel, Southern Gospel Jubilee, this is our second year we've had that, so we're just having a big old time up here. I'm singing with everybody on the ground.
I know, we were hearing you. Is it safe to say that on decorations alone, you guys probably spend millions of dollars?
Well, I didn't count the money, and I didn't. They didn't send me the bill yet, but it's a lot. But actually, we don't spend as much money as we have just talent, so it looks like it costs more than it did.
Well, Dolly, you know, food is always important at a celebration like this. For people who are visiting that area for the first time, during the celebration, what is the one food they need to try when they're there?
Well, we have some of everything, but they kind of specialize in a lot of apple dishes. I know the apple fritters are big around here, and the apple dumplings. Of course, you can get fried green tomatoes. You can get anything in the world that's going to kill you long before your time, but you'll be happy to go.
But don't they taste great, you know?
It tastes great. I'd rather go like that than some miserable way, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you got it.
I love the idea. Every day you're going to have this homecoming parade that comes down the main area, and we're told that a couple of the parade watchers get to be the king and the queen.
Yeah, we get to, it's actually just kind of like going back to the old days. It reminds me of when I was in high school here in Sevier County. We get to pick the king and queen, and people just really get to be part of it. And every day, as you said, during the festival, we get to do all sorts of fun things. So we have a lot of folks that come out to the festival, and if you folks get off in time, you ought to come down and visit us.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. When you were in high school, were you ever a cheerleader or homecoming queen?
No, I never did get a chance to do that. I was more interested in my music. Of course, Daddy wouldn't let me do all that stuff. He wanted me to come home right after school. He's afraid somebody'd run off with me, and sure enough, they did.
But you know, I've always thought you would have been the greatest cheerleader because you have such enthusiasm about everything you do.
What you're trying to say is I have a big mouth. And
That's her, Dolly. Wasn't me. No.
But actually, I was more interested in my music, and I would always go home, had to do my chores, and then write my songs and try to go somewhere and sing. But it was great, and I did enjoy it and admired the girls that were on the cheerleading team.
Hey, you know, one aspect you mentioned, we briefly touched upon a moment ago, the gospel music. Now, growing up in East Tennessee, I was always around gospel music. My grandmother liked to sing it and all that. Were you singing gospel music when you were a kid? Weren't the lyrics a little hard to understand sometimes?
Well, yes, they were. My grandpa was a preacher, Church of God preacher, and I grew up singing in the church. And like you mentioned, and of course, I never could get all the words right. They always, that part of the angels beckon me from heaven's open door, and I can't feel at home in this world. I used to, when I was a kid, I'd think they said, the angels are baking me in heaven's oven door.
Not the same thing, is it? No.
No, it ain't the same thing.
And you know, there was another one I heard that was so cute about the cross-eyed bear.
Oh, gladly, the cross-eyed bear. It's like, yeah, I've heard that one before, too.
That is very cute. Well, let's remind everybody that the festival is starting today out there at Dollywood and goes through November 2nd. Is that right?
Yes, it goes through November 2nd. We started today, so we're just having a big time. Got all this food, all this music, all these crafts, and we're just having a fun time here, and everybody seems to be enjoying it.
I know one thing you pride yourself on. You like to visit with the people, as evidenced there in the shot. And we have some people in our studio audience. We asked them if anybody had a question for Dolly Parton, step forward. And we have three guys over here.
Okay, three guys?
Are you surprised at that?
All guys. Well, that's all right with me. Be careful, boys.
Okay. We'll ask the first gentleman to tell your name and where you're from.
I'm Jeff Jocking from Nashville.
Okay, Jeff, you
and
have a
my question is, how do you keep yourself looking so young?
Well, thank you very much for that. Well, it ain't easy. It's like I've often said, it costs a lot to make a person look this cheap. It costs a lot to make a person look this young, too.
Well, you take real good care of yourself. I know that.
Well, actually, I don't know that I do, but I'm just, I don't know that I look that young, but that's a nice thing for a man to say to a woman, and thank you very much.
Oh, you look gorgeous, Dolly. You know that. Okay, who's next?
It's all artificial, though.
No.
It's all painted on.
Who's next here?
Hi, Dolly. My name's Terry Hurd. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee.
Hi.
And my question is it true? Did you really Tom Jones's house. And,
Terry!
and has this become a hobby?
Well, I mean, yes and no. Yes, I did do that years ago, but it was just with a bunch of my girlfriends, and we were just kind of out having a big time, and I thought, well, I have to do this. So I did streak across his yard. I don't think he saw me, and no, I did not make a habit of it because I got in big trouble when I told that.
Yeah.
My folks did not appreciate that at all.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he was hoping that was going to be a new attraction at
Well,
Dollywood
no,
next year. I guess
no.
not. Okay.
Okay, well, who
One
else is
more
next?
here. What's your name, sir?
Hi, Dolly. My name is Clay McBurney, and I'm
Hi.
from Oak Lake, Alabama. So many stars ride Harleys now. Have you ever thought about it?
Oh, I'd be afraid I'd lose my hair. There was my hair blowing in the wind and me too proud to run after it.
Oh, gosh.
Well, no,
So
like
I don't
Dolly.
need a Harley nor a convertible, not with my hair.
Well, Dolly, do you know what he really said to us in the commercial break? He said
What?
that you probably would be too top-heavy to ride a
Oh,
Harley.
He's got a point.
Dolly, we want you to know you are a class act, dear, and we want everybody to know the celebration is going through November 2nd up there, and it's the Harvest Celebration. And how often are you going to be there, by the way, so we can look for you?
Well, I'm actually just going to be here today to take part in the festivities, opening it. And, of course, you know we have our big Christmas festival that opens November the 13th through December the 31st. And we're also going to have a big show on New Year's Eve. This is the first time we'll have had that. So there's something going on for the rest of the year. So come on down.
Dolly,
It's
you make
homespun
Pigeon
fun.
Forge so exciting. Thank you so much. We'll
Good.
see you up there later on
All
this
right,
year.
good to see you.
Bye-bye.